Myself for today. So you can see the proof. You see on your okay. I know the screen's smaller today. I don't see the movie. What a judge. I think that Judge Kim, I think that other man a bit of a racist. I kind of don't like him. I saw I think that Judge Kim. I think the other man is a bit of a racist. Yeah. I think he was the one that didn't like the fact I could go to the neighborhood and get the neighborhood to come to court with me. But at the end of the day, you sit on the bench, you don't know my child. You don't know me. You going by some hearsay and what's going on in the daytime.
This is the 10:30 detention docket for Monday, October 19th, 2020. In compliance with the Texas Supreme Court order number 24 related to coronavirus, we are conducting these proceedings via Zoom. In accordance with Judge Glenn Whitley's order to close the courtrooms, we are closed to the public. However, in order to comply with the open courts provision of the Texas Constitution, we are broadcasting these proceedings online, particularly today on Facebook. I'm sorry, on YouTube. So no portion of these proceedings may be copied, published, or recorded. Violations of this order are punishable by contempt of up to 6 months in Tarrant County Jail and up to a $500 fine. Also requiring people who are here just simply to observe to do so on YouTube. However, you can go to the YouTube channel, which is the 323rd District Court. If you are here as a participant, I do require people to have their camera on. So Mr. Martinez, could you please turn your camera on? Mr. Martinez, please turn your camera on or I'll remove you from the Zoom session. You can view the proceedings on YouTube. All right, Mr. Martinez, this is your third request to turn your camera on or I'll remove you and you can view the proceedings on YouTube. Thank you.
Can everybody hear me?
No, I can't. I'm looking at your background right now.
You looking at what?
Your background? This is a court proceeding. And so I'm trying to figure out what your background is. Mr. Martinez, next time, please have a background for your Zoom session a little more appropriate for a court proceeding.
Have a background for what?
More appropriate for a court proceeding rather than some galaxy behind you.
Oh, this is for my work. It's for my job.
Your work requires you to have a space background.
Oh, 1 second.
All right, so Leonte Willis, I believe he's with the Sheriff's Department in the Tarrant County Jail. Is he here by chance?
Don't see him, Your Honor.
All right, do you mind calling the jail and let him know that we're missing him in the Zoom session? We'll skip and go to Aaliyah Adams while we're waiting for Mr. Willis to appear.
Here she is, Judge.
All right, thank you. Hello, Aaliyah. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You've been when a child's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days, and I have to make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You do have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Today, Ms. McGonigal has been appointed as your attorney. Ms. McGonigal, are you here?
I'm present, Your Honor.
Oh, there we are. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, so Aaliyah, let's see, you're 15 years old. Killer PD brought you in. They're saying yesterday about 9 o'clock in the morning, Dad woke up to see his F-350 being backed out of the driveway. It was tracked via GPS. There's a traffic stop. You were the driver of the truck, and you were arrested. So, see, Dad refused custody. See, evidently you were a victim of trauma and trying to get you psychological, psychiatric help. All right, so.
I'm here, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Adams, all right.
Yes, sir.
I'm just trying to be discreet about everything. All right, Aaliyah, let me explain where I'm at, okay? As a judge, my role in this part, this is not your trial. I'm not here to decide whether you did anything or not, okay? Can you hear me okay? Okay, so my thing right now is I need to make a decision. Ms. Collier, please sit still. All right, Ms. Collier, I need you to be still. There can be no bright lights behind you. This is a court proceeding. It's very distracting. All right. So, Aaliyah, here's the deal. Okay. What I have to consider is on releasing a kid is whether you're going to be a danger to yourself or to others, whether you're going to appear for court or not. Okay, those are my primary concerns. There are other things I think about, but those two things are my biggest things. Okay, my concern is if I let you go, that you're simply going to run away. Okay, so you understand the position that I'm in, right?
I probably will keep running
I'm
away.
sorry?
If I'm being honest, I probably will running away because I don't trust myself of not staying in the house because I have a trigger to where if anything happens or I don't get my way or something like that, I just run away.
Sure. And I really, honestly, I appreciate your candor. Okay. So then my question for you is, because I don't want to keep you here. All right. I don't like it either. Right. I don't like any children in our facility. I mean, this is me I'm trying to show you respect and courtesy by being just very straightforward with you. And honestly, you're earning my respect by being straightforward with me. So looking forward, what can we do? Like, how can I make sure that you're not going to run away and be safe at this time?
While I was in my room isolated for almost 2 days now, I was thinking of a plan of what we can do. And what I was thinking was some lady was also talking to me about what we should do. And she thinks that I should stay here and complete the program for 2 weeks and see if that helps me a little bit and reevaluate me every week and to see if I'm ready to go home, to see if I earn that trust, or to see if I need to keep going in the program to see if I need more help.
Okay. You want to try that for a little bit for now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go ahead and try that. So we'll see you every 10 business days. So it's 2 weeks.
Okay.
So normally you'd be scheduled to see me again in 2 weeks. Do you want to touch back in 1 week just in case to see, and we can see how it's going and make adjustments if we have to?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go and do that. I'm going to go ahead and put you on the docket for next Monday, okay, 5 business days from now. Okay. And then you and I can talk and we can just figure out where we're at, if it's working, if it's not working. And then from there, we can reassess and reevaluate. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and keep you. Let's see if we can move forward and this is helping. All right, but I don't want to wait a full 2 weeks. I'm glad you'd like to see each other through Zoom again in a week and we can reassess this, okay?
Can I go on the record that I didn't decline my daughter? I was pushing to get in front of a judge because, as you can see, my daughter was a good kid.
Oh, she's very, like, there's a lot of things I'm very impressed by her. Like, you've done a good job.
San Marcos is going to take her. We're just waiting for a bed.
Okay. Oh, good. Oh, good. Yeah, Leah, I'm sorry?
I agree that I also do need to go to San Marcos. That's why I think I should be holding in this place till then, because I do not trust myself out there. And I'm very sorry, Dad, that I took your truck.
Well, I'm glad this is a big step. Let me know whatever I can do to help. Okay, I really appreciate. I don't think, Aaliyah, at this point that you need the juvenile justice system. Right? I think what your needs are outside of this system, and so let's try and do what we can to help you. But please do not hesitate. If you need to go ahead and take notes, so you can bring to the next detention hearing, so you don't forget to bring it up. Okay.
Am I allowed pencil and paper?
I beg your pardon?
Am I allowed pencil and paper to take notes? Like on my questions and stuff.
So they don't let you take it into the room, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, just keep it in that little the
little bag
on the outside the door. Okay.
Sure. And then if you want, I'll go ahead and make an instruction to our JPD staff, right, down in detention, that if in the middle of the night you think of something and you want to write something down quick, I'll go ahead and tell them to give you the opportunity to write it down, so at least you don't forget it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
It's just the mental facilities in this whole country is just broken. Like, she's been in and out of facilities for 6 months now, and no facility can help her, and the bed wait list is months long.
You are preaching to the choir, Mr. Adams. I absolutely agree with you. My role, although I'm elected as a judge, not as a legislator or governor, right? And so those are things that are outside of my control. It's really just about making sure the law is administered fairly.
I was just hoping to get in front of a judge. There was a way that you could help her get into a facility quicker than what we're waiting.
No, and the process for the juvenile justice system for putting children in short-term or long-term facilities is actually much slower than on the private side than what you're doing, right? So from our side, we're talking about months to get something done, right? And so I'm glad you're being very proactive about this, right? But I understand the frustration. Sometimes you think with a judge, we can just snap our fingers and make things happen. Unfortunately, that's not the case. There's a process, and it's a very slow process from the court side. Okay. All right. So we will, Aaliyah, I'll see you next Monday. All right. And then we can touch bases then and reassess the situation. I'm glad you want to meet next Monday, so that way we don't have to wait the full 2 weeks. Okay.
And don't be in that small room for long.
I beg your pardon?
Because the COVID thing, I have to stay in a small room for like a couple of days by myself, and it's very stressful because I don't like being in a small room without things to tell me.
Yeah, and and the reason why is because you have to set rules for like everyone, and unfortunately, when the law gets involved, the law doesn't tailor to individual situations. So and that's why, and I'm sorry you haven't go through that. But on the other side, it means when you get out of the quarantine period, you don't have to worry about other kids coming in because they'll be quarantined first before they go into the regular pods.
Okay.
Okay.
This is unfair.
No. Everyone has to go through that.
Okay.
All right.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Leah. Yes.
Would you like a psychiatric consult while she's waiting for this bed, hopefully at San Marcos?
I don't know, Dad, when's the last time she saw a mental health professional?
She just saw one, and that's where they said that she needed a long-term facility. She's on medications, and she was just at a long-term facility, and they kicked her out because she kept running away.
So did you bring the medication with you?
No, sir, I'm at my office. I got an accident Saturday with a chainsaw, so I can't really drive, but I can get the medication down there today. Yes.
Okay, if you can get the medication to us. And what I will say, so Aaliyah, this is kind of me to you, just being very candid, okay? You're 15, all right? So for the next almost 3 years, running away is one of those, we just issue warrants for you and you get picked up, okay? And it's a miserable cycle. You don't want to do it.
I know it's very hard to get control of it, but I'm working on it.
Okay. Yeah. I just want you to realize, like, I guess if you find coping mechanisms is the best way to do it, because the runaway cycle makes it very difficult, especially now. So what normally happens when a child runs away is we just kind of put a runaway notice. So law enforcement, when they come in contact with you, they have the option, they can, or it's at their discretion whether to take you into custody or not, okay? Now that you have a juvenile case, what we do instead of a runaway notice, we actually issue a warrant. Then the law enforcement has no option. They have to arrest you, okay? And so the last thing you want is to get picked up on a warrant in a different county, and then it's just a longer process. And this is actually, believe it or not, one of the nicer facilities for juvenile detention.
Oh,
So
yeah, it's nice. I don't see any cockroaches right now.
we spend a lot of money to try and make it as nice as possible. So just so you know, if you're picked up in some of these smaller counties, it's pretty bad. So
Yeah, when I was in the Keller little jail system thing, it was disgusting. I was
Right.
in the jail cell.
yeah, disgusting is a very good word. So, okay. So just, if that's a disincentive for you not to run away again, hopefully that's it, okay? All right, thank you, Aaliyah. We'll see you on Monday, okay?
Can I just log out? Is that it?
Yes, sir, we're done. And so we allow phone calls. We're not allowing in-person visits because of the coronavirus here, but we are a little more liberal on the phone calls during this period.
I just want her to understand she's running her life.
Well, and the thing about that, Mr. Adams, is when you and I were 15, a lot of times when 40-something-year-old told you something, you didn't always believe them, right? And that's the point that she's at. So we just have to be, I guess, cognizant of that. And I think more than anything else is we need to make sure there's as many doors open as possible for her to walk through. But I think you and I realize we can't force her to do anything at 15.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, so is Mr. Willis here from the jail yet? Okay, so we're having problems logging on. Okay, we'll go to the next one, which is going to be Ernesto Gutierrez. All right, Mr. Gutierrez, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. Security control, could you angle that camera down a little bit so I can see his full face? Thank you. All right, so Mr. Gutierrez, when a child's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days and have to decide whether or not to take you into custody, keep you in custody. By keep you here, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You do have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. We have appointed Ms. Keenan to be your attorney pending show cause. Ms. Keenan, can you introduce yourself so he pops up on the screen?
Yes. Can you see me, Ernesto?
Yeah.
I'm Tracy. Okay. I've been appointed to you this morning. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez. Thank you, Ms. Keenan. All right. So, Ernesto, you're almost 16 years old. You came in earlier this year in March for an assault, aggravated assault of a family member with a deadly weapon, specifically a knife. In September, you were brought in for a criminal trespass case. Both of these are supervisory caution. So we basically said, hey, look, we think you're a good kid, stop making mistakes, and let's not deal with each other again. So then, see, on Saturday, you were brought in about 1:30 in the morning. Police saw 3 males enter a roadway, so there was a stop. And the police was familiar with you from past contacts that said you were in violation of curfew. There was a search. There was a plastic jar containing weed. The adult companion was arrested for possessing weed, acid, and clonazepam. Let's see. So then on October 6th, you were referred out of custody. So you had some pending cases from Hearst. According to the report, in September at about 1 o'clock in the morning, they responded to Oak Valley Apartments. 4 people breaking a car and fleeing on foot. A witness said that he saw 2 suspects in the neighbor's car and 2 were standing in the front. Witnesses yelled at the suspects, after which they ran. They gave a description. Victim said there was $10, rolls of quarters missing, and a black Charger. So they responded to a burglary of a motor vehicle at Glen Rose Apartments at about 3 o'clock in the morning. The suspects were breaking into various vehicles on Sunday night into the early morning. Alarm system went off. Alert the owner. 3 took off running when they saw the owner. Ernesto and 2 companions were located, and they were recognized from previous encounters. 3 said they were coming from a friend's house. The victim identified 3 as the ones who broke into the car. They found money on one of the people. Ernesto had a black fanny, pack that had 9 quarters and Swisher Sweets that was stuffed with green paint material. Let's go back further. September 7th, Hearst had an arrest for evading arrest and criminal trespass. About 9:30 in the morning, they were dispatched to a convenience store. Hispanic male took items from the store. Police arrived. They saw 2 to 3 Hispanics who saw the police start to run. One of the officers got a description of the males, which matched Ernesto from the store clerk. When they searched the area, they saw the juveniles in an apartment complex. When they told y'all to stop, y'all continued to run. There's a chase. They caught Ernesto and Franklin. They met the store clerk, who confirmed they took items from the store. So you have September, you get arrested for a case. October for theft. October, you get arrested for a burglary of a vehicle. And then October, you get arrested again for another burglary vehicle from September. And you can smoke weed while you have pending cases and supervisory caution. All right. Ernesto, you made this pretty easy. All right. So, see, the parents are here.
Those are his grandparents, Judge.
The grandparents were. So, grandparents, do y'all speak English?
No, Judge, they speak Spanish only.
So, can you ask them where his mom and dad are?
I did ask him that, Judge. Mom lives in Dallas and father lives in Fort Worth, and they provided me with numbers for both parents. I did leave a message earlier for mother, and she has not returned my call.
No. That speaks volumes. Okay. All right. Well, Ernesto, here's the deal. I'm convinced if I let you go, you're just going to steal more things. So I'm just going to keep you from stealing things by keeping you here. All right. Get your behavior level up to 1.0, and we'll have a discussion in the future. But unless you prove to me that I can release you and keep the community safe from getting their property stolen, then you just have to stay here, which is a real dumb reason to be here. All right, thank you, Ernesto. All right, Mr. Martin, you need to be on the screen. It's not acceptable just to have a background there. All right, this is a court proceeding. All right. Did we get is the Tarrant County Jail here yet? They're still trying? Okay, all right. So the next one is going to be Isaac Mata. Nilda Navarez, I'm going to ask, this is a court proceeding. If you're here just to watch, then you can watch from YouTube. However, you're a participant in this proceeding, your camera needs to be on. All right, Isaac, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a child's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you here, the law says you have to see a judge within you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You do have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. All right, so Isaac, you're 15 years old. Back in July, you're brought in for aggravated robbery with a gun, and the DA supervisory cautioned you. In October, you were brought in for possession of marijuana in a drug-free zone, which the DA supervisory cautioned you. I'm sorry, that was 2016. Okay, so we're going back. So one was last year. The aggravated robbery was last year. The weed was, wow, 4 years ago. All right. So you referred here, see, on Friday about 1 o'clock in the morning. No, Saturday about 1 o'clock in the morning. Fort Worth PD was notified about stolen vehicle. They found the vehicle. There's a traffic stop. Prior to coming to stop, 2 black objects were thrown from the front passenger window. Isaac was the only person in the car. There's a search of the vehicle's path, and they found a ATI 1911 with a loaded magazine. A second loaded magazine for that 1911 was found, and a 9mm handgun was also recovered. And then you're positive for weed. All right, well, Isaac, it's pretty simple for me. The one thing I don't tolerate is kids with guns. I have a big problem with that. All right, I think you know that we've had interactions before. All right, so you know, if kids have guns, that's fine as long as the parents are around to supervise or any adult. But kids alone aren't, especially in a stolen car. So I'm going to go ahead and detain you. All right, thank you, sir. Rodney Settles. Do they have the right number, Weissman? Because earlier they were in the other courtroom. No, they may be clicking to sign in instead of enter as an attendee. So it wasn't a problem before. I'm sorry? Yeah, okay. All right, so we have Mr. Settles. All right, Mr. Settles, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When law says when child's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you here or to release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have a right to see an attorney. You have a right to an attorney. And you have a right to remain silent. We have appointed Ms. Lothorpe as your attorney pending the show cause. Ms. Lothorpe, can you introduce yourself so he sees you on the screen?
Hello, Mr. Settles. I'm your attorney.
All right. Do you see Ms. Lothorpe?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So, Rodney, you're 14 years old. Let's see. Yesterday, about 5:30 in the afternoon, police were dispatched to a Quick Mart about a male shooting a gun in the air multiple times. There was a description of the vehicle. There's a felony traffic stop. Rodney stated, well, so Mr. Victorson says Rodney stated to the police how was he located in the car?
Yes, Your Honor. He was in the car that was pulled over.
Okay, was he a driver, a passenger? Do we know?
It didn't say. It just said there were multiple occupants of the vehicle. And when they interviewed the different occupants, that's when they talked to Rodney.
Okay. All right. So then talk to Rodney. Let's see. Rodney said that he was arguing with 2 other males and saw them reach for what he thought was a weapon. He said he fired a handgun in the air one time. Video surveillance showed him placing the gun in the backpack and concealing it behind the building. So, all right, well, Ronnie, I'm going to let you know that my big deal is that I don't believe I have a big problem with kids having handguns when there's not adults to supervise them. All right, so my rule is whenever a kid's caught with a gun, I'm going to detain you. Okay, we'll revisit this in the future and see what's happening, but I'm very concerned about you, about your safety, and about the safety of the community. You know, when you shoot a gun in the air, the bullet has to come down somewhere. And when it comes down, if somebody's standing underneath it, then they get hit by the falling bullet. All right? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May I excuse?
Thank you, Ms. Lothrop. Yes, Ms. Lothrop, good to see you. All right, so at this point, the jail doesn't have the inmate over yet, so we're going to go and have to wait. I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Judge Porter, who will take care of the next couple of hearings, and I'll be back for the final one. Thank you, Judge Porter.
Thank you, Judge Kim. Jakar Dixon.
Good morning, Judge. I'm covering for Ms. Daniel today.
All right.
Good morning, Judge.
All right. Are you Mr. Dixon?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Dixon, the law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days. This is your 10-day hearing. The court has previously found that the probable cause exists to detain you. I am personally aware of your history. You've been level 1-0 since the 11th of this month. The court is not yet convinced that if I were to release you, you would not be a danger to yourself or others. And so on that basis, you are detained. Thank you, sir.
And am I excused?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Michael Martinez. Are you Mr. Martinez?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Martinez, my name is Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days thereafter. This is your 10-day hearing. The court has previously found that probable cause exists to detain you. You're currently level 1-0 and have been since 10/13. You're brought in on possession of controlled substance in the amount of less than 1 gram listed in penalty group 1. Okay. Mr. Haynes, what says the state?
Your Honor, the court will request that the respondent's detained.
All right. Mr. Pearson, what are your thoughts?
He did a psychological evaluation that was done. That was suggested a couple of settings. The first detention hearing. I don't know how his dad feels about taking him home. He was on Zoom earlier. I don't see him at the moment, but we would ask it to be released.
Okay. When he came in, he tested positive for cocaine. Given that he's only been level 1-0 for 6 days, I don't, and given everything that's going on, I'm not comfortable quite yet. But Mr. Pearson, if you want to reschedule this for next Monday, or even
I'm sorry, Judge, the internet. I'm sorry, excuse me. I didn't mean to interrupt you. The internet was slowing down. I didn't hear what you said.
He's not yet 10 days at level 1-0.
Okay.
Why don't you request a hearing for Friday? And if he can maintain level 1-0 between now and then, yeah, if he can maintain level 1-0 between now and Friday, then that gives me a good reason to believe that he's likely to maintain level 1-0 at home.
Okay. Yes, sir.
For today, Mr. Martinez, I'm going to order that you remain in detention, but you need to maintain level 1-0 between now and Friday, okay?
This Friday, sir.
All right, that'll be the order of the court. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Joseph Christopher Navarez. Is Mr. Navarez there? All right, are you Mr. Navarez?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Navarez, my name is Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days thereafter. This is your 10-day hearing. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney, and your attorney, Mr. Adler, is here. You've been level 1. The court previously found that probable cause exists to detain you. The court's familiar with this case and the underlying facts. You've been level 1-0, but only since the 15th. All right. Mr. Navarez, the underlying offense really, really scares me. And level 1-0 for 4 days is not enough to convince me that if I were to release you today, you would not be a danger to yourself or others. So on that basis, I'm going to order that you be detained. You need to maintain level 1-0 because that's the only way you're going to be released. All right.
Yes, sir. Hey, sir. Actually,
That'll be the order of the court. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Adler.
Mr. Porter, can I say something?
Is it about your case?
Nah, it's about my level.
Okay.
I got the certificates right here, sir. I only dropped to my 1A one time, so I've been a 1-0 since last month, and I only dropped.
Sir, you have not.
Huh?
No, sir, you have not.
No, but it's because I just it's like a couple of days. I dropped my 1-0 to a 1A to 1-0.
Okay. So stop. When you drop from 1-0 to 1A, is that maintaining level 1-0?
No, sir.
Then you have not been consistently 1-0 for the last month, have you?
No, sir.
All right. That'll be the order of the court. Thank you, sir. I'm going to turn it back over to Judge Kim.
All right, thank you, Judge Porter. All right, so we're ready for, let's see. According to the Family Code, normally court proceedings for children under 14 years old are closed to the public. However, the court will make a finding that the interests of the public or the interests of the child would be better served by opening the hearing to the public. So we are ready for Mr. Rodney Moore. Hey, Grandpa, how are you?
I'm fine, Judge. How you doing, sir?
Oh, it's good to see you.
You too, sir.
Does his mom even show up to these hearings? You know?
She won't be, no, sir. She has some issues. She wouldn't be presenting herself in the courts, no, sir.
Right. Is that now, his mom is your daughter? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, detention, we're ready for Mr. Moore whenever you can bring him.
We're getting them now, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Moore. Good morning. This is really a 5-day detention hearing. I only have to do these every 10 days, but I'm trying to keep track of you. So it's been 5 days since the last time you've seen a judge. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're in custody. You do have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. I just do want to remind you that, I have it here somewhere. We're used to this by now. So remember this one, I got papers for you too.
Yes,
and
sir.
so this is back before you even had a case. And you decide that for no reason. And then later on, when you got picked up, I'm holding you because you're on the internet with guns. And then just let you know, there's a new one now. That one's you. So you, and this is, I guess, 8Gang FP on Instagram. So, some of this is you're just snitching on yourself, right? Some of this is your friends are snitching on you, posting kids with guns on the internet. You know how that makes me feel. So, all right, just to get that out of the way. You are level 1 acceptable, so you're not outstanding. So, Mr. Spence, why is he only level 1 acceptable? Oh, Mr. Spence, you're on mute.
Oh, I must have been unmuted. Sorry. he's been running days where he's doing like 2 days. He's on one outstanding. He'll go like 2 days, and then he'll get in trouble for being over playful, arguing with a peer, repeatedly talking without permission, just minor stuff like that.
Okay, so he's just not following the rules.
Right.
Okay. All right. So, Rodney, you're back here and you're not following the rules. Just like when I let you go on electronic monitoring, you cut it off and you went on the run. You're not following the rules there. So if you just can't follow the rules, I'm not going to let you go. It's just really that simple. So I'm going to go ahead and detain you. We'll go ahead and see you next Monday.
Your Honor. Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Sure.
Yes, sir. It's very short and brief. I prepared it. Your Honor, I represent my grandson both as a grandfather and a parent. Grandfather means just that, a grandfather, and that I am, having loved him wholeheartedly ever since his birth. We've had our ups and downs, it is true. However, I never fail in my duties to be there for him at every turn. Rodney is a loving child with kindness and caring in his heart. I know because he has been in my care for some time now. However, I do not always have the appropriate answers for everything, but I have persevered to move us forward in a positive manner, despite my only child's efforts to thwart the positive with the negative, placing us in our current position. I would simply ask the court to give it the old college try once more in an effort to give Rodney the opportunity to make good, straighten up and fly right, attending any and all counseling, rehabilitation, or whatever is deemed proper by the court. I would be willing to attend with him if possible. In my opinion, the TCAP program ran by Brother Johnny Muhammad of Brothers with Pride has been of a positive influence to Rodney and would be a start, or even outpatient psych counseling as well. One last ditch effort is all I ask of this court before sending him away to some strange unknown place. He does not understand his world like he thinks he does. He will be vulnerable a long way from home with no one. Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Grandpa. So here's the thing. I love me some Johnny Muhammad. Like, he is a righteous man. I've met him several times and I have nothing but good things to say about him. There's all kinds of great people down in South 6 that are doing amazing things
Yes,
with their community, with our community.
Yes, sir.
Here's my problem with Rodney, right? Is I gave him the benefit because he was under 14, as I do with every child under 14. And even though there are times when I feel like I know I'm going to get burned, I give him chance after chance. The problem is that Rodney has really flaunted it against me. I mean, he does not care what the judge thinks. He does not care what the system thinks. He does not care about law and order. If he was going to behave like a kid, and at his age, I would treat him like a kid and give him chance after chance. The problem is he's a kid age, but he wants to act like a 16, 17, 18-year-old. Well, if you're going to act like that, then you have those consequences.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm using these detention levels. The fact that he's still arguing with other people, he's not acting like a 12-year-old. He's trying to act like a grown man. And what he has to understand is when you have grown man actions, you have grown man consequences.
Yes, sir.
So I'm just treating him like an adult at this point,
Yes.
so to speak, not literally, but if he's going to continue to cause problems back here instead of being just a normal 12-year-old, then I'm going to treat him like a kid that's grown up and not a normal 12-year-old.
Yes, Your Honor.
Rodney, so here's the thing. I know your attorney doesn't want you to say anything. Do you have a question for me? If you have a question, I think your attorney's probably okay with it. If you want to tell me something, your attorney probably wants you not to say anything.
If I start listening, doing everything I'm supposed to, and started doing, I've been doing my chores at home, but do more and do everything I need to in here and listen to everybody I need to and do whatever I need to just to give me one more chance, I will do it. It's no problem, I will do it.
See, and the problem, Rodney, is you've lied to me so many times that in my mind, whenever you talk, you're a liar. Like, literally. Like, every time you talk to me, I'm assuming you're lying to me.
Look, I can show you better, I can tell you.
Well, that's the difference, is you show me, don't tell me. And that's the problem that we have, is all these times you've told me something and you never followed through. And your decisions you're asking to be treated like a grown man. You stuff with all the guns and all the arguments and the problems you're getting into, You know, when a grown man lies to me, I just don't trust him anymore. So if you're speaking, I just don't believe you. All right. The only way you rebuild that is you show me. And you not being level 1 outstanding is showing me that you're lying to me.
Yes, sir. I will show you and everything I need to, and I will see you Friday, then Monday if I have to. I'm gonna do everything I need to the rest of my time here.
We'll see. And that's not a guarantee either, though.
Yes, sir.
Because my problem is I let you out, and you get another gun, and you shoot somebody else. Right? My problem is you show me, I let you out, and you burn another building down. Right? I let you out, and you associate with other kids on probation. Problem is I let you out, and you go out and you smoke more weed. Right? I mean, this is the thing is every time you have set up this pattern where you're asking me to take everything that you've done over the last year and then just forget it because you can actually behave for 3 consecutive days.
Actually, I've been reading the Bible, trying to change my life. It was like I used to be around like old people, but I used to be raised like that. And now I see the difference between real life and like bad life. Like I see the reality I need to be doing. Like I need to be doing everything I need to do, like go to school and do.
So my question is, how long you been seeing it? How long you been this attitude change?
I've been thinking this over this time I've been here. The whole 23.
Right. So while you've been here, right? The problem is if I let you out, you're going to forget all that. You know, there's a saying among criminal defense attorneys that we know where Jesus lives. Jesus lives in jail because everyone finds Jesus in jail, right? But I'm afraid as soon as I let you out, you're going to put that Bible back on the shelf. Here's the thing, Rodney, all right? I'm going to make it real simple. I need to be confident that if I let you go, you're going to get back on the porch and stay on the porch.
I'm not trying to stay on the porch. I'm trying to go a whole different route.
No. I don't want you to jump off. You jumped off the porch. How old, right?
I'm trying to do everything I need to until I'm an adult. Like, I'm really...
No, John. You don't need to be an adult. You need to be a kid.
Yeah, right now, I need to be a kid. I'm saying I need to do everything until I'm an adult. Like, everything I need to do, I ask until I'm an adult, until I pay bills, till I do all that.
Mm-hmm. So, anyways, yeah, I need you just to be a kid. So I need to be confident that I let you go, that you're just going to be a normal 12-year-old. You're not going to run around with kids that are affiliating in gangs, right? That are getting in trouble, that are breaking the law, that you need to cut them all off.
Yeah. And
I'm just not confident. I think if I let you go, you will go home and everyone's going to want to hang out with you again. You're going to make more videos and you're going to keep on rapping and you're going to get caught up in the lifestyle again. And we're going to have to do this all over again.
But look.
No, hold on. Before you say, if I break your rules again, you can keep me here until whenever. You told me that before.
Yeah, I did.
You told me that at a hearing, that if I let you out in EM, you cut it off, you raise your right hand, you said you can keep me here till I'm 19. Look. So I already have that. You've already given me permission for that. All right?
Yes, sir. But look, I think that like everything now, I know like everything I do, you already know. You already watch me. It's going to come to you no matter what. Everything I do, everything I post, everything is going to come to you. And God, at the end of the day, you, everybody is going to come to y'all. At the end of the day, the whole system is going to come to y'all.
Mm-hmm. Here's the problem, right? You don't have anything to bargain with, Rodney. Like, you've already been busted for everything, right? Yeah. Cutting off your monitor, having the guns, the drugs, the affiliating with people that have cases that are on probation. Like, you don't have anything to bargain with right now. Like, right now, it's simply just at the mercy of the court. Whenever the court decides, because you can't say that if you let me out, I'll do right, because we let you out, you did wrong.
Yes, sir. I got to show you in here and show you everything I need to do better. I can tell you.
That's exactly what I've been saying every time we meet.
Yes, sir.
All right. So there's no promises. I'm not guaranteeing that if you're level 1-0, you get out next week.
Yes, sir.
You just got to make me comfortable and feel like it's time to give Rodney a chance. I don't want to keep you here, but I will.
Yes,
I don't want to send you to TJJD, but I will. All right. All right. And so, Grandpa, just so you know, yeah, at this point, this is, we haven't had a trial or anything. You're worried about me sending him off to TJJD. My goal is not to send any kids there. but I end up sending a whole bunch there because they show me that I have no other alternatives. So if Rodney gives me alternative, then it's different. But if he doesn't, if he keeps on doing what he's doing, then you and I both know he's going to TJJD.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Martinez was on this list. Is he not there? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were on Martinez. Okay. All right. Did we get somebody from the jail yet for Willis? Okay. So the jail is having a problem connecting to Zoom. So there's going to be one last detention hearing for Leonte Willis. The sheriff is going to bring him here physically to this courthouse, and then we'll do that one in person. All right. So that concludes the Zoom portion of detention hearings for October 19th. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.